Hello, my name is Aaron Leff, and this is my pre-video or before in my introduction into my participating video. So I'm going to choose to do option number 1, and that is where I interview a cross-section of staff and faculty members, minimum of 3, regarding their perspective of the campus vision and how the campus vision impacts morale. The three faculty members that I'll be working with are going to be Miss Irene O'Connor, who is a member of my Algebra 3 team. She's been at LaPorte High School for 28 years. She has a knowledge of how things are run here. She's been around long enough to see any of the changes that have occurred, and just gives me a good veteran teacher perspective. Second person that I'm going to interview will be Joe Cornett. He's also a math teacher, but he's only been teaching for approximately 3 years. So he still is relatively new to the teaching profession, and this is the only school that he's ever taught in. He's also coming from a military background, where I think that it'll be interesting to get his perspective on the morale and the vision statement and everything like that, going from military to public school. And finally, I'm going to interview Fabian Arroyo. He is a soccer coach and also a Spanish teacher. He's actually from Chile, and so it'll be interesting to see how his perception of the way things are done here versus the way they were done in Chile. This is his second year in teaching, and I think it's only his 5th or 6th year in the country. So, like I said, it'll be interesting to see how he sees things or views things done here versus the way they were done in his home country. Detailed description of the field experience activity. Again, I will be interviewing them based on what their perspective of campus vision and how it impacts the morale. How I will determine interviews' awareness of the campus vision is, through interview questions. My first question is actually going to be do you know what the campus vision is? And I have a copy of the district's vision statement, which is LaPorte ISD Portrait of a Graduate presents a set of attributes that reflect our district's high expectations and commitment to provide our students with pride, loyalty, academic and social accomplishment, citizenship, curiosity, and a lifelong desire to contribute back to the greater community. This portrait serves as a framework for developing coherent set of competencies for all LaPorte ISD students. And then I follow up with, how does the campus recognize and celebrate those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision? How are the contributions and achievements effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community? Are there ways the school/district can do this? How does the vision impact morale, or does it? And then how could the district improve morale on campus? From a personal perspective, I don't think the school does a great job of recognizing and celebrating those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision. We don't have faculty meetings. We don't get a lot of emails celebrating the accomplishments and the achievements of specifically the staff and other educators. I think they could just do a better job of a newsletter or faculty meetings or things along those nature. I don't think that the morale of the school is great. I think that there's not as much pride in this school, being from this school, going to this school, as I've seen in other schools. And I think that celebrating those things could be huge steps in how it could help to increase the morale of the school. Looking forward to seeing other people's perspective on this, and we'll see where it goes. Okay. All right. So I have to do a interview where I interview a cross-section of the faculty and kind of go over the vision statement and do how it affects the morale of students and faculty. So, okay, if you will give a brief introduction of yourself, just name what you teach, coaching, that stuff.
Joe Cornett, Algebra 3, AP Computer Science, and varsity football and girls track.
Okay. How long have you been at LaPorte?
This is my third year. So
Okay.
far.
Okay. And so, like I said, we're going to just be talking about the vision statement for the campus and kind of how that affects the overall morale of both students and faculty. So, first question. Do you know what the campus vision is?
Don't know it verbatim, but I have seen it at least once or twice this year.
Okay, so what the district vision statement / campus is it says LaPorte ISD Portrait of a Graduate presents a set of attributes that reflects our district's high expectations and commitment to provide our students with pride, loyalty, academic and social accomplishment, citizenship, curiosity, and a lifelong desire to contribute back to the greater community. This portrait serves as a framework for developing a coherent set of competencies for all LaPorte ISD students. Okay, so do you think that our campus recognizes or celebrates those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
I think it's kind of a mix. Some people on campus do, some don't. I think part of it is just kind of the way the building's separated. You can kind of see how the attitude changes from place to place.
Right. How do you think the campus or our administration staff work to really celebrate or recognize the teachers that implement these?
I really don't think there's anything from the administration that kind of supports the teachers that try to kind of follow the vision. There's no real recognition of anybody that does it.
Okay. Do they do any communications or emails or anything like that?
They've kind of gotten better about communicating the expectations through the new weekly newsletter that we have.
Right.
And that's about it. I haven't really seen a whole lot other than that.
Okay. Are there ways the school can? Are there better ways that we can do this?
I think it's gotten better from what it was when I first got here. The communication has gotten a lot better. It's still getting better. I think a lot of that has to do with the administration, the APs communicating.
Right.
There's a lot of days where you just don't see them, you don't hear from them, and then there's other days where you see them almost too much.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Do you think this impacts the morale? We'll just focus on the faculty at this point. Do you think the faculty morale is good because of this, or negative because of this, or do you think it affects it?
It definitely affects it. I mean, like I said, there's been improvements, so I think kind of the overall morale has gotten better. They've seen more support to support the vision over this school year in particular, over what it was the first 2 years I was here.
Okay. What about student morale? Do you think that the vision statement impacts their morale, and then how?
I don't really think the students even know we have a vision statement. I think some of them, if they knew what it was, would kind of appreciate it, but just our student body as a whole, I don't think really would make a difference.
Yeah, I agree. How can the district improve morale from a faculty standpoint?
I think just better recognition of the problems on campus and helping improve those, supporting the teachers that are trying to help out and getting other teachers involved and actually following the policies. We're just barely improved right now. There's just not a whole lot of backing up the teachers to help them out.
Do you think that comes from a school, or do you think that comes from a campus administrator, or do you think that's a district level issue?
I think that's more of campus level kind of deal. I know we have our deals with the administration across from the big building, but directly with the students and the teachers, I don't think it really impacts that a whole lot.
Is there anything you do in your classroom specifically that kind of help as far as student morale or other teachers?
I guess I'm almost too brutally honest with the kids, but I don't sugarcoat it. I let them know what they're doing, what they need to do better, and they respond a little bit better to that. And then as far as with other teachers, just kind of communicating ideas, what works, what doesn't work, kind of like what we did earlier with our PLC, some of the ideas that we can use in the classroom that might help in the long run.
All right. That's it.
All right, thank you.
Easy enough.
Those are always fun.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Hello. All right. So my name is Aaron Leff, and we're going to do an interview over kind of the campus district vision statement and the morale of the campus and both faculty and students. If I can you introduce yourself?
I'm Irene O'Connor, LaPorte High School, teach Algebra 3 and Pre-Calculus.
How long have you been at LaPorte, and then how long also have you been teaching, if it's
Same
different?
thing.
Okay.
I started at LaPorte, and this is my 21st year.
Okay. All right. Do you know what the campus district vision statement is?
No.
Okay.
I know they told us at the beginning of the school year in service, but I have no clue.
Okay, so what the district vision statement says, and kind of what we've adopted here as well, is it says the LaPorte ISD Portrait of a Graduate presents a set of attributes that reflect our district's high expectations and commitment to provide our students with pride, loyalty, academic and social accomplishment, citizenship, curiosity, and a lifelong desire to contribute back to the greater community. This portrait serves as a framework for developing a coherent set of competencies for all LaPorte ISD students.
Okay, that's district.
District, and we don't actually have a campus. What they told me in the front office is that we just kind of go by this
Oh, okay.
for the campus. And so, do you think that the campus does a good job of recognizing, celebrating those who implement strategies in support of the campus vision?
No, I don't think we celebrate it at all. I mean, I don't know of anybody that does anything to support that vision. If they're doing it, it's not being recognized, definitely not celebrated.
Okay. How do you think we could go about doing some of those things to celebrate?
Well, I think the first of all is to make it obvious so everyone knows about it. I doubt I'm the only one that has no clue about it. So I think it needs to be, if we are going to celebrate it, it needs to be pushed so we're aware of it,
Right.
what's being happened.
So, communication, emails, even like the
maybe
newsletter.
posters, you know, this is our vision, our campus vision. I mean, it's, as far as I know, it's not anywhere.
Right.
I haven't seen it anywhere.
Okay, well, that kind of goes into the next question. So then you wouldn't say that it's that we are effectively communicated with as far as any of the, even as far as like athletic events or anything like that, you know, like our football team won their playoff game.
I think we're communicated with that, and simply, maybe not directly to me,
Right.
but I can go online on our website and find that out. I think Martha does a really good job with the weekly bulletin to let us know soccer game, football game,
Right.
baseball games, whatever athletic games are ongoing.
Right. Extracurricular, we do a good job, but not necessarily on the academic side of letting us know, you know, any of those kind of, any events or...
No, because let's face it, we have how many AP scholars that were recognized. I can't remember the number.
Yeah, I'm not
But
sure.
I know they were recognized at the school board, they were recognized in the newspaper, but it was not, in my opinion, at least I don't remember it being communicated to faculty and staff. If we're celebrating accomplishments, that's huge.
Right.
I think that should be made a big deal, you know, put it on LPTV,
Yeah.
recognize them in some way. We have announcements, you know, make a big deal about
Right.
that. So.
No, and we don't even recognize like the kids that get scholarships or
Well-
athletic scholarships, yes, but whenever they get, or at least in what I have seen, I haven't seen that as much.
They get recognized. There is, and I only know that because I used to be Mu Alpha Theta sponsor, but
Oh,
there
okay.
is, in the spring close to graduation, they have a scholarship ceremony.
Okay.
Ceremony in the evening
Okay.
in the theater with the parents of the students. But again, it's not communicated to the rest of the faculty,
Right.
meaning you know there's a ceremony, but not this person won
Right.
this much
Right.
for, you know, this school for
Right.
academic, athletic, because sometimes, some years we have academic scholarships that are huge because the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo
Right.
gives away some big scholarship, but again, not being communicated. No.
Okay. Do you think there's some other ways besides just maybe emails that the school could do it? I know you said some posters or things like that. Are there other, would there be maybe a central area where they could announce this stuff? Because I think it's important not only that we as a staff, but I think we need to celebrate it to the other students as well. And so, like at other schools I've been at, they have a wall of honor.
Mm-hmm.
And all the kids that are, as they announce what school they're going to, they get their picture made with a little something saying where they're going, and it's put on the wall. And it's like, at Sterling it was a full hallway, and it kind of had all of those kinds of acknowledgments. Is there something that we should do here? Is there a better way to communicate with not only faculty but also students?
I know Abbott does it for the Abbott kids because they do hang them up, and it is really cool. They had the kids make their own poster as to where they're going. I think common areas, cafeteria, we have plenty of wall space.
Right.
Maybe we can put it up on the stage or something. I think that'd be great.
Well, I think like we do the military wall.
Yes, we have a wall of honor in that.
And I think that's awesome and fantastic and needs to be done, but what about the other kids?
Yeah.
I think that having something similar to that, and I think even the military wall should be put out more in plain sight, because it's kind of hidden and tucked away back in that
Where
back
it is
hallway.
at, yeah.
And so, do you think this has an impact on the morale of teachers, students, as far as, and maybe not morale isn't but maybe school pride?
I don't know if it has impact on pride. I think if we celebrate kids that achieve academically as much as we do football
Right.
or basketball or whatever sport, I think our kids will start looking up to, wow, this person got a free ride to Rice University.
Right.
What did she have to do, celebrate academic success? We have, Miss Humphrey's daughter,
Right.
Jillian, went to Rice on a volleyball scholarship. It's very unusual for any of our kids to go to an academic high school like Rice.
Right.
I know of 2 in the 20 years I've been here. We have one kid that got accepted to MIT. He's still there. He's doing his graduate work there now. Bright young man. But that to me should be huge. I mean, that should be plastered all over the walls, because strive for something other than Sanchez in a college.
Right.
Or
Elite
Texas
college.
A&M,
Right.
or UT. Go for an Ivy League school. We had one football players in the 20 years I've been here that went to Purdue. That's huge.
Mhm.
He got an academic scholarship to Purdue University. Nobody knows about that.
Right.
And that should be huge.
Right. That should be bigger, if not as big as the football scholarship
I
or
think.
the athletic scholarship. Do you think that this is an issue on the or at the campus level, or do you think this is something that should be mandated from central administration?
I think it should be a campus decision. Who should be in charge of it, I don't know.
Right.
I know we have an academic coordinator on the campus or on central office. So I don't know, but I think it should be done on campus.
They kind of already do it at a central admin with the board and
Right.
doing some of the achievements as far as that goes. Do you think is there a difference in the morale between the staff and the students? Do you think the morale is higher for one or the other?
I really and truly cannot speak of student morale. I mean,
Right. Right.
I don't know. I think their morale is okay as far as any student body is concerned. I don't.
Right.
I can't,
Yeah.
I don't hang out with them. I
You're
can't
right.
speak for their morale.
Right.
So,
Okay. What can we do to improve? Actually, before I get to that, how would you say the morale of the overall with other teachers that you've interacted with? What would you say their morale is? Especially, I think this year with all the construction, with all the changes that have gone on, between changing schedule, between all of that stuff. Would you say that morale is high, low, same as always?
I think it's not very high. I think it's better than it has been.
Right.
At least I can talk about our hallway.
Right.
I know we're doing better, but that's because as a hallway, we've bonded and we support each other. I don't, but talking with people, like with the people that are out in the portables, they seem to like it. It's
Mhm.
nice. So I think morale is better than it has been.
Okay. Do you think there's anything that the central admin, or I guess central isn't the right word, that campus administration can do to improve morale? Because I know that, morale isn't super high, but, I wouldn't say that it's super low either. I would say that everybody is
Right.
content, I
We're-
think would be the best way to kind of put it.
And I think maybe we need to be shaken up and we need to get out of being content. I think we need leadership that expects more of us than just being content. I think we need to be held to a higher standard. You see teachers and staff, that barely do what's necessary in their job, yet there are no consequences. So why should I do as much as I can if, Mr. Doe over here gets the same salary I get? He gets here at 7:15, he leaves at 2:40, and there are no consequences to his behavior. He goes in, he shuts the door, he shows movies to his classes all day long. So I think we need a leadership that values
Hard work.
not so much hard work, that puts a value on people doing their job and doing it well.
Right.
I've never been told, hey, thank you for coming in early, thank you for staying late, thank you for making a difference with our students. and it's not something I expect. I am low maintenance human being. I know what I'm worth. I get it from my student, but I think as a good leader, you point out what's great on the campus.
Right.
And build from that on. And if there's somebody that does not follow the rules, that needs to be dealt with.
Okay. Okay, last question. Do you think that the vision statement has an impact on the morale?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I really, I think what impacts morale is leadership.
Right.
A good leader impacts morale. And I don't know how to go about it, but I also know that we have a whole bunch of new teachers. I don't know.
Right.
I don't. Yeah, when and staff meetings are not gonna make it. I do not wanna be here, after the school day and sit in a meeting, because I don't meet people like that. I don't wanna go after school to meet a bunch of people at a restaurant. I don't do that. I think it'd be nice to, when we have, those wonderful district in-service days, take one day and do some,
Team building
and
of
yeah,
sorts, or
God help
just-
me,
Yeah.
somebody's gonna strike me down dead, but I would like to do team building. We have some great science teachers. I know them because we share the
Right.
hallway, but I wouldn't know them otherwise.
Right, yeah,
I
yeah.
think, put us together with the theater, with the social studies. We have so many great teachers on this campus. I have no clue who they are. I see them every day.
Mhm.
Because
they work here,
they're
but
coming
yeah,
from,
right.
right, there's somebody that parks next to me every morning. I have no clue who she is. We visit, and I said, I need to ask her what her name was and what is she doing on campus. But I think it would be nice to take out and do that. Just because I think it would bring the campus together.
Right. Right. And we'd all be working for a common goal, not
Right.
feel as much as individuals.
And I think you would have some of those teachers that are always complaining and griping and whatever. I think you get, because the majority of our staff are super. I mean, they're here, they're working hard, they really want to be here. We
Right.
like it here. And so when you have those few people that are always negative, I think we can drown them out. Right now, they're the minority, but they make the most noise.
Right. So, okay. Well, I appreciate your time. Thank you
You
very
are more
much.
than welcome, and if this goes in rerun, I want royalties.
All right. Hello. Okay. So this is a video that I'm doing for my master's program. It has to do with the district/campus vision statement, and it's kind of going into how that pertains to the morale of the campus, how we celebrate students, how we celebrate staff, how we celebrate just the communication aspect of things. So let me start off and kind of get an introduction, just your name, what you teach, and we'll kind of go from there.
Okay, cool. My name is Fabian Arroyo, and I teach Spanish, and I have a mix of students between freshmen and juniors.
Okay.
So that's the range of the students that I teach.
Okay. How long have you been at LaPorte High School?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. How long have you been teaching?
Well, I did a little bit of teaching with PE before,
Okay.
but this is my second year teaching Spanish.
Okay. All right. So, and this is your second year as a full-time
A full-time teacher.
full-time teacher. Okay. All right. So we'll just go ahead and get started on what we're talking about.
Okay.
Okay. Do you know what the campus vision is?
I'm familiar with it. Now I cannot tell you.
Not word for word kind of
Literally.
deal.
Mhm.
Okay. So what the district campus vision statement says is the LaPorte ISD Portrait of a Graduate presents a set of attributes that reflect our district's high expectations and commitment to provide our students with pride, loyalty, academic and social accomplishment, citizenship, curiosity, and a lifelong desire to contribute back to the greater community. This portrait serves as a framework for developing a coherent set of competencies for all LaPorte ISD students. Okay, so knowing that, do you think our campus recognizes or celebrates those strategies or those accomplishments that kind of lead to the vision statement?
I think we do it. I think the campus do it, and I think the administrators encourage us to do it.
Okay.
We definitely can do a better job on that every day. But I think it's definitely oriented to contribute to society, to have those kids contributing to society. So I think we do.
In what ways do you think that they celebrate and recognize as teachers that do those things for the students?
Well, we definitely do a lot of stuff like after school things, like the clubs, and they have the student council and all those kind of clubs and programs after
Right.
school.
Got
I think it's only certain kids that can only participate in those things. So I think we do it in that way. And I think in the classroom itself, I think one of the things that the evaluation does is trying to contribute to those kids, even though they're a little bit lower than the rest.
Okay.
Kind of looking at how do we encourage those kids to do better, how we celebrate them during the classroom. So.
Okay. How do you think that they are communicated effectively to the staff, students, and the community? Like, is it through email? Do you think they do a good job, like newspaper-wise, or in what ways does administration communicate?
Well, I think one way is definitely with the faculty meetings. Now they haven't been often this year, but I know the newsletter has been coming out lately. In that way, I know we have a lot of contact with the appraiser.
Right.
Because of the new system, we have to get more in contact with the appraiser. So that's one way that we can get a little bit more feedback
Okay.
towards how to manage better the class and how to encourage the kids to do better.
Okay. What ways do you think we can do a better job?
We can definitely get set up maybe monthly faculty meetings. I know the time restrictions, with all the construction around, but definitely meeting face to face a little bit more often will help. And I think connecting now with the PLCs, I think we're doing a better job on that too.
Right.
But definitely with administrators participating at least once a week or once every 2 weeks on the PLCs will help
Right.
to get more teachers at once.
Right.
So
How do you think what we already do, how do you think that is affecting the morale as far as teachers go?
I think it happens at all kinds of jobs. Whenever you have some type of support from your high administration,
Right.
you definitely feel more secure doing your job.
Right.
So it definitely has a positive impact
Right.
whenever you have that contact, that
Right.
close contact with anybody with a higher administration. So.
Okay. Where would you say the school morale as far as teachers go is currently?
Do you want me to grade it, like give it a grade,
I
or
mean, like,
just?
well, you can say high, low, and you can compare it to, say, this year versus last year. Do you think there's been a change? And if there has been a change, what do you think has affected that?
I think it's been a little bit better compared to last year. I think we have a lot of issues last year, especially with the kids, and it has to do the way teachers are feeling.
Right.
If we are not feeling supported, we are not feeling on the right track, kids are going to be affected.
Right.
And I think this year it's been better.
Okay.
I think we are all connected in a little closer way towards that we want the kids to do a little bit better. So.
Do you think the vision statement has helped as far as, by having the kids be held to a higher standard, by kind of trying to create a lifelong learner / a more productive member of society? Do you think those things contribute, or do you think that it's just you know, the fact of we've had some changes in administration and that we've done some with construction, things have been maneuvered and just this different stuff like that?
I think it does contribute. I mean, I think we are contributing to that. Because at the end, the ultimate goal is to have better citizens.
Right.
Of course, it all needs to start at home.
Right.
But I think we're doing a better job this year on keeping the kids on track, on the right track, regardless if they go to college or not.
Right.
But kind of like what the mission statement says, that, you know, preparing them for secondary
Right.
education, regardless if it's college or not.
Right. College, job training, or whatever. Okay. How do you think the district can improve the morale on the campus from a teaching standpoint or a teacher standpoint?
Definitely, like I said before, trying to find ways to connect even closer with teachers.
Right.
Like I said, maybe attending the PLCs and not just having it all math teachers meeting or all just, you know, just connecting somehow with them. And maybe connecting the department somehow too.
Right.
Connecting with other teachers. I mean,
So you're not
sometimes-
segregated.
Exactly. I mean, coaches, they get together
Right.
with different areas because of the, you know, because of the sport, but somehow connecting the other areas, and I think that will do a better job too.
Okay. Is there anything that you do differently than what you've seen around the school that you think is impacting the morale of, say, just the teachers around you?
I really try to have a very close relationship with others around me, at least,
Right.
you know, the ones that are on my hallway.
Right.
Trying to stay close together, you know, and just simple things like saying hi or getting close and see how the kids are doing. If we have a kid in common, you know, trying to get together and see how they are dealing with the certain situations. It's just connecting. We got to connect.
Relationships.
Otherwise, we are not going to improve. And isolating ourselves,
Right.
it's not going to do any good to us, neither the kids. So.
Okay. So that was all based on the teachers. Do you think that from a student standpoint, do you think things are different as far as, say, the morale / school pride? You know, are students excited to come to school? And I realize that, you know, they're not going to be excited, but do they look forward to coming here?
I think the majority of the kids, they do. I think that they look forward to certain classes, to certain teachers. Of course, we are not going to get along together, but I think most of them do. Of course, we have exceptions, and it's because, you know, they're not interested in it.
Right.
They're interested in other things, and we just don't know. So,
Do you think there's something that we can do from both a faculty and administrative standpoint that can improve the morale of students?
I think we definitely need to somehow connect with the kids and try to find what their interests are.
Okay.
Once at least we know what is it that they like or what is it that they don't like or what is it that they like about certain classes or they don't, maybe we can create some type of pattern or something like that and build it from there.
Right.
To kind of have a standard relationship,
Right.
you know what I mean, with
Right.
the other kids.
Is there stuff that are you doing those things in your classroom currently? And then what does that look like?
Well, I mean, it kind of depends because I have an elective.
Right.
So most of the kids, some of them have to take it,
Right.
although otherwise have to pass. But try to find ways how they're interested in certain things or how to apply my subject to real life.
Okay.
So that's one of the ways that I try to keep them engaged somehow.
Right.
How to connect it with the things that they see outside of the school.
Okay. Are there any things that you feel like you can do to improve what you're already doing in your classroom as far as to improve the not even just the morale, but maybe just the school pride aspect of your students?
Definitely. I think we need to do a better job on connecting with the kids, attending their games. They have a presentation, making them feel that they are part of it, and that we are part of the school too, and part of what they are doing.
Right.
Regardless if it's our subject or not, but at least, we can feel that we are connected somehow,
Right.
attending their stuff outside of the school and things like that.
All right. That's all I got. So
Awesome.
appreciate it.
Not a problem. Cool. I hope it helped.
So this is going to be my reflection video for the participation. Again, I did the interviewing cross-section of campus faculty about the vision statement and those things for the campus / the district, because our campus doesn't actually have a vision statement, but we're a one high school district. So the vision statement for the district kind of trickles down to everybody. This is the campus or the district-wide vision statement that each school has to abide by. So staff responses to questions regarding the campus vision. I kind of feel like it was mixed, but I felt like my first two interviews with Mr. Cornett and Ms. O'Connor, they don't feel like there's enough recognition, that there's not enough communication going around as far as when we have academic success. We tend to celebrate the athletic success more, but we're not celebrating the fact that students are achieving. Ms. O'Connor brought up the fact that we had some kids go to Rice, we had kids go to Purdue. Both of them were on an athletic side, but like the kid that went to Purdue went for an athletic or an academic scholarship, and that wasn't mentioned. So it's interesting, because then you talk to Mr. Arroyo, and he feels like the district and the school do a great job of letting people know. From my own personal side of it, I don't feel like the school does a great job of celebrating the accomplishments, celebrating what kids are achieving academically. I do feel like we get emails about signing parties and about kids that are achieving in athletics and the extracurriculars. But even still, the kids getting scholarships for FFA or for a Houston Livestock Show or any of those kind of things, those aren't celebrated. They aren't said, the kids aren't told that they're achieving these things. And so I think that we need to do a better job of those things. How are they effectively communicated to the staff, students, and community? Again, I don't think they are. I don't think we do a good job of that. I think that we need to do a better job. I think that there needs to be a weekly email that goes out about achievements. I think that posters, I think that there could be something out in the common area where we celebrate what students are achieving, because I don't think it's just on a faculty and teacher level. I think that students need to be able to see what other students are doing and what they're achieving, because it gives them something to strive for. It gives them something to look forward to. And I think that kind of rolls into C. How does a campus use innovative thinking, risk-taking, or failures as a learning experience to promote the campus vision? I don't think we do. I don't think we talk about enough what kids are doing. I think one of the things that they do well as far as kind of risk-taking or innovative thinking is we do Shattered Dreams to talk about the dangers of drunk driving when we get around prom. But I think things like that need to be addressed for academics. I think that things like that, when a kid has the opportunity to go play football, but they didn't do what they needed to do in the classroom, and so they're not able to accept a scholarship. I think that needs to be addressed, and I think that needs to be brought up and shown to the younger kids, shown to the freshmen, because if we can start it at the freshman level, then they kind of understand. I do think it's mixed as far as the next part was, how does campus vision impact morale? I think that, again, Ms. O'Connor and Mr. Cornett don't really feel that it does impact morale. I think that it's just kind of a side product. There's not a It's not a positive negative. I think it could be a positive. I think that if we would get the kids excited about what's being done, if we got the teachers to understand that, you know, they're going to be celebrated for doing a good job, or for you know, or even, you know, the teachers that are checking out early or going some, you know, not staying until they're supposed to stay, if we could get those people to understand there's a consequence, then teachers that are doing the right things and seeing the others that aren't and not get punished, I think it just builds a morale. I think that people will be excited about being here. And so, you know, I think that from a teacher standpoint, I definitely think that we can build on the morale here. I think that there's communication would be one of the biggest ways. I think one of the things that a lot of people brought up is that we don't feel like our administrators or our the people that are evaluating us are in the, we don't see them enough. They're not in our meetings. They're not around us much. They're just, you know, we see them for our evaluations, our walkthroughs, and that's the extent. When we have PLCs, which we have weekly PLCs, it'd be nice to have them be in there and say, you know what, y'all are doing a great job. And just, you know, we know we do a good job. We know we do what we're paid to do, but it'd be nice to hear it from up above. So on my field experience activity, what went well? So Mr. Cornett's interview did not go as well as the other two. I think mainly because that was my first one. And I think that, you know, as you go, you find ways to tweak it and things that you need to do different and those kind of deals. And so I think that I was able to do that as I went through. With the other ones, I think it went well. I think that I was more reactive. I think that I had a good basis, and I had a better understanding of where it was going to go, which made it to where just the interview flowed a whole lot easier. I think that first interview was kind of like pulling teeth, and it went, for lack of a better explanation. What would I change? I'd change that first interview. I honestly think that maybe I should have done it and gone through these two, and now maybe I should go back and do it again. But I think that as you go through this process and as you interview and as you speak with people more and more, just like as a administrator, if you have to meet with a parent, the first meeting isn't going to be as good as, you know, the 12th meeting or the 100th meeting of meeting with parents. You just get more familiar and more comfortable in what you need to be doing. What surprising information was revealed through this experience? I wouldn't say it was a surprising. Just getting to go through the process of actually communicating with my colleagues on something different other than just what we teach, or, you know, about dealing with a certain student or any of that kind of stuff. I think that's probably the biggest surprise, was just hearing some of the responses to things, because I kind of had an idea of where it would go and it went completely different. So I think that would be the most surprising information that was revealed. How will this experience transform my practice as a school administrator? Again, like I was saying earlier, I think that every time I get a chance to meet with another educator and it not be, we're meeting about Algebra 3, or we're meeting about soccer, or we're meeting about, you know, it's something different than what we normally would speak about. It's good practice. It's an opportunity for me to work with other educators and to kind of meet and discuss topics that affect our campus. And I think that's one thing that as our administrators currently don't do as good of a job at. I think that we speak about what the academics are, what the, you know, okay, We got STAR tests coming up. We need to be preparing for this. Okay, you need to be doing this. But it's never about. So how are you feeling with the way things are going this year? What do we need to be doing different on this campus? How can we make this better? You know, things of that nature, I think, are ultimately what we need to be focusing on. So with that, I think I am done. Thank you.